You wake up tired. You go to work. You come home tired. You look at the calendar on your phone and you realize the number 30 is staring back at you like a loaded gun. It does not matter if you are wearing a white collar and staring at spreadsheets or wearing steel-toed boots and pouring concrete. The feeling is identical. You are running on a treadmill that is set just slightly faster than you can sprint. You see your paycheck hit your account on Friday, and by Monday morning, the landlords, the gas stations, and the grocery conglomerates have dissolved it. Most people, the 99% who are sleepwalking through their financial lives, believe this is just how the world works. They think if they just work harder, if they just pick up that extra shift or get that 3% raise, they will eventually get ahead. They think the system rewards effort. They are lying to you. Effort without a formula is just waste. The economy is not designed to make you rich. It is designed to extract value from you. It is a chemical reaction, and you are merely the fuel they burn to keep the engine running.
I have spent decades inside the lab of the global markets. I understand the molecular structure of wealth. I know how the banks cook their books, and I know how they dilute your purchasing power. There is a specific chemistry to escaping this trap before your 30th birthday, but it requires precision. One wrong ingredient and the whole batch is ruined. We are not just going to save money today. We are going to build an empire. We are going to cook. Let's begin with the basics of purification. You cannot synthesize a high-quality product if your glassware is contaminated. In your financial life, the contamination is debt. But not all debt is created equal. I am talking about high-interest consumer debt, credit cards, personal loans with double-digit interest rates. This is the impurity that ruins the reaction before it even starts. You need to understand the math here. When you carry a balance on a credit card at 22% interest, you are essentially working one day out of every week just to pay the bank for the privilege of being poor. It is mathematical slavery. Before you buy a single stock, before you look at a single house, you must neutralize this threat.
You attack the debt with the highest interest rate first. This is the avalanche method. It is brutal, it is fast, and it is the only way to clean your vessel. Once the debt is gone, you need a stabilizer. In chemistry, some elements are volatile. They explode if you shake them. Your life is the same. The transmission on your truck blows out. You get laid off. The rent goes up. Without a stabilizer, these events force you back into debt. We call this the emergency fund, but I prefer to call it the go-to-hell fund. You need 3 to 6 months of expenses sitting in a high-yield savings account, not a checking account paying 0.01%, a high-yield account paying 4 or 5%. This money is not for spending. It is for insurance. It ensures that when the world tries to knock you off balance, you can look the problem in the eye and tell it to go to hell. This liquidity gives you the power to say no. And in this market, the power to say no is the ultimate leverage. You cannot operate a lab if you are worried about the lights getting cut off.
Stabilize the environment. Remove the impurities. Only then can we begin the synthesis. Now that the vessel is clean, we need heat. In a chemical reaction, heat accelerates the process. In your financial life, income is the heat. You can budget all you want, but you cannot save your way to freedom on a starvation wage. You need to increase the input. This brings us to Move 3 and Move 4. Move 3 is aggressive skill acquisition. The market is a territory, and in this territory, you are paid exactly in proportion to the difficulty of the problems you solve. If you are easily replaced, you will be paid peanuts. It does not matter if you are stacking bricks or filing reports. If I can train someone to do your job in an afternoon, you have no leverage. You must acquire a skill that makes you scarce. Learn to sell. Learn to code. Learn to manage complex logistics. Learn the chemistry of the business you are in. You must become the one who knocks, not the one who answers the door. Which leads to Move 4, the salary pivot. Loyalty is a fool's game. The corporate structure relies on your inertia. They know you are too afraid to leave, so they give you a 2% raise while inflation runs at 3.5%. You are losing money by staying put. The data is clear. People who switch jobs every 2 to 3 years earn significantly more over their lifetime than those who stay loyal. You must treat your labor like a product. You are selling your time. If the buyer across the street is offering 20% more for the same product, you sell to them. Do not let emotion cloud your judgment. This is business. When you are under 30, you have the energy to hustle. You have the capacity to take risks. Use it. Heat up the reaction. Force the catalyst. You don't need to work harder. You are already working hard. What you need is a better strategy. You need the formula. If you want to stop guessing and start knowing how this machine actually works, hit subscribe. We are building something here. Now, we arrive at the synthesis. This is where we create the product. This is the blue sky, the purest math in the universe. Most people think investing is about picking the next hot stock. They are gambling. They are junkies looking for a quick hit. We are not junkies. We are chemists. We rely on the most powerful force in finance: compound interest. Move 5 is opening a Roth IRA. Listen to me closely. The government is your silent partner. They take a cut of everything you earn, but the Roth IRA is a loophole in their territory. You pay taxes on the money now, while you are young and your tax bracket is low. Then you put it into the account. It grows, it compounds, and when you pull it out at retirement, it is tax-free, 100% pure. If you invest $6,000 a year starting at age 25 versus starting at age 35, the difference at retirement is hundreds of thousands of dollars. That 10-year delay costs you a fortune. It is the cost of hesitation. Move 6 is the vehicle. What do you buy inside that account? You do not buy meme coins. You do not buy a company just because you like their logo. You buy the S&P 500. You buy the entire market. The S&P 500 is a basket of the 500 largest companies in America. It is self-cleansing. If a company fails, it is kicked out and replaced by a better one. It is Darwinism in financial form. By buying an index fund, you are betting on the American economy. Over the long run, that bet has always paid off. You set it on autopilot. You contribute every month. You do not look at the news. You do not panic when the line goes down. Volatility is just part of the chemistry. You let it cook. Over time, the reaction accelerates. The interest earns interest, and then that interest earns interest. It creates a chain reaction that you cannot stop. This is how you build wealth that lasts. This is the product that no one can step on. We have the solvent to clean the debt. We have the heat from your income. We have the reaction from the investments. But there is one final ingredient: the glue. If you ignore this, your lab will explode. Move 7 is protecting your reputation and your overhead. I'm talking about your credit score and lifestyle inflation. Your credit score is your reputation in the financial underworld. It is a number that tells the banks how much they can trust you. A score above 750 is a key to the city. It gets you the lowest rates on a mortgage. It gets you the best insurance premiums. It opens doors. To build this, you must be disciplined. You use your credit card like a debit card. You pay it off in full every single month. You never miss a payment. You treat the bank's money with respect, and they will give you access to more of it. But here is the danger. As your income grows and your credit improves, the temptation to spend will rise. This is the trap. You get the raise, so you buy the new car. You get the bonus, so you move into the luxury apartment. This is lifestyle creep. It dilutes your product. If you make $50,000 and spend $50,000, you are broke. If you make $100,000 and spend $100,000, you are still broke. You have just upgraded your poverty. To win before 30, you must keep your lifestyle fixed while your income grows. You live like a student even when you are earning like a professional. You widen the gap between what you earn and what you burn. That gap, that margin, is where your freedom lives. That is the profit. You drive the used car. You cook your own meals. You stay in the modest apartment. You act broke so that one day you won't have to act. Keep the overhead low. Keep the reaction pure. Do not let the system tempt you into consuming your own supply. Let's reassemble the formula. First, you purge the toxic debt and build your go-to-hell fund. You clean the glassware. Second, you acquire skills and pivot jobs to increase your income. You turn up the heat. Third, you pour that capital into a Roth IRA and the S&P 500. You start the chain reaction. And finally, you maintain a high credit score and a low cost of living. You stabilize the volatile elements. It sounds simple, but simple is not easy. The world is full of distractions designed to make you fail. They want you to buy things you do not need, with money you do not have, to impress people you do not like. Remember, I provide the chemistry, you cook the product. This is not financial advice. I am not your accountant. I'm just a man who knows how the territory works. Do your own research. Check your own numbers. Money is not just currency. It is stored energy. It is the time you spent working, frozen in a digital number. When you waste money, you are wasting your life. When you invest money, you are buying your freedom. By the time you turn 30, you should not be wondering where your money went. You should be telling it where to go. Stay out of my territory. Class dismissed.
Say my name. Say it.
You are Heisenbank.
You are goddamn right.